everybody. It's birthday time. Woo! 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 Happy birthday, Adam!
Happy birthday!
You say thank you guys. I love you.
We
He's
love-
wearing the similar hat. He's wearing the same hat.
You know what?
He's got a red outfit on. He's got a red hat, and he looks a little bit like the mask. His hat's kind of tilted.
Yep, that's how he wore it, like that.
Yeah.
That is Adam's hat.
This is his hat.
That's what it looks like.
Happy birthday! Oh, he and Jen have matching hats.
Happy birthday!
So how do you like your birthday balloons? We've got, hello, my name is Adam. Hello, my name is Eric. Can you see these two?
We love it. We love it. It is great.
And then we've got your happy birthday sign here. It says you're a star right up there. Okay, and here's your birthday present from your stepdad. And this is for you and Eric and Bob. Oh yes, especially for Bob. Some 420 beer.
Don't worry, Adam. I'll do 420 and drink your 420 beer for you. You know.
So I have to tell you something funny. I turned on the Ghost Legacy and Eric's initials come up, and then he shows me the word beer, and I went, what's going on? And all of a sudden I knew to go check out here where the beer was, because I had a single bottle sitting on a table. It was sitting straight up like this, and I came out here, the bottle's on its side.
Oh, wow. Cool.
At least he didn't drink it, because I would not know how to explain that one.
Should have left one open for him.
Yes, sir. So, Adam had a special guest that he wanted to invite for his birthday today. Is Bob here?
Bob is here, and so is Mr. Shubin.
Oh my gosh, how exciting. Thank you so much for coming, Bob. And oh, Barbra Jean. Adam, thank you so much for I guarantee you that boy, this is my present from him. I bet you he needed some instruction on how to do that. Did he? Did he? To bring two aspects? What?
He's saying, all these guys just know how to party, so they had to be part of it.
But I just want to explain the thing with Shubin. He and Adam are parallel lives, so they have the same soul, right?
We have the same higher
soul,
higher self, whatever source you want to call it. And we were pretty simultaneously in kind of the same time zone. So a lot of people get confused with that shit, he says, but it is possible. You just have to see your higher self like an apple, and you cut it in different slices, and you can put the different slices wherever you want it to be.
Exactly. And
so it's not because we're in the same time zone that we're not the same. People always have a tendency of looking at their soul as the only one, and looking at, again, looking at the linear time, only one soul per lifetime. It doesn't work that way, because the higher self splits up in so many different lives.
Right.
She or he or it is able to place it in any lives at the same time, even in similar time zones. So time doesn't exist. Keep remembering that, so
exactly.
It doesn't matter where we are.
Right. It helps us to think in terms of past and future, but it's really not like that. So, and using that same concept, we have to let go of the notion that there was one life had a finite end, then you go back to in between, then another life and a finite end. It's sometimes you've got, like Adam had 4 going at the same time on the same timeline, and 2 are still here.
Yeah. And he says, people need to get off the idea of that it's always the same consciousness that's returning. It's the same energy that's returning, not the same consciousness.
That's perfect. Okay, so and let me just ask you, there's one more guest I thought might pop in. Is Rhonda there? My sister. I thought she was going to pop in too.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Rhonda.
She's a party animal too, so.
And
Oh,
she
yeah.
and she loves this girl.
I love Rhonda. I love you, Rhonda. We miss you so much. I dance for you every chance I get, even though I'm too white to dance. I love you so much. I don't care how ridiculous I look. I love you. And I sing for you, Adam, every day. I hope you hear me.
He says, hell yeah.
He gives me the courage to sing karaoke at my bar. It gives me it takes a few beers. He knows it takes me a few beers, but I'm up there.
Would you like to sing Happy Birthday with him to get
Yes,
this started?
but there's one thing I want to sing for him that we wrote together.
Okay, Adam's birthday present from Jen. Let's see this beautiful girl.
She is gorgeous. He's
Thank
going,
you.
I love you.
I'll take your hat off, Adam, and I'll sing to you. Okay. I have to close my eyes because I have to picture him. Okay. Look into my eyes and tell me, baby, it's gonna be okay. Tell me everything will be okay. It's gonna be okay. We wrote that together, and the ends of it is Adam singing to me, it's gonna be okay. And every time I sing it, I feel him. I'm gonna sing Happy Birthday to you, Adam. And I love you, Rhonda.
I just want to say, while you were singing that, he was making me feel like there was a tear going down his cheek. So he was very emotional when you did that.
I love you, Adam. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my sweet Adam. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my gosh, that was beautiful. Okay, here, honey, here's yours.
Love you.
He goes like this. He goes, you
Oh
have
my
no idea how much I love you guys. No idea. He says, wait till you get here. Your heart will explode with all this love.
It already does with all the love you give me. I feel you every day.
Oh Lord. Okay.
He's got to keep an eye on you. I have to.
I know I'm
It's my
crazy.
job.
He knows I need it.
All right, let's get this party started.
Happy birthday! Whoop whoop!
So Bob,
Time to have a cocktail, man. That needs a drink right there, huh, Adam? Huh, Eric? We should all have one for you guys, you know? I'm sure you're having fun over there.
Thank you for the birthday present.
Thank you.
Do you see this mug?
Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
So
very
on
nice.
our blog page, when he said something about the adventures of Dead Boy and Supermom, I'm like, oh my God. I can't say that. They're going to get the wrong idea. He's like, nah, this is Adam. They'll get the right idea. So I went to buy the balloons. And sometimes when I'm shopping, I'll just go into this spaced out state and he will lead me places. I mean, I will find things that he's directing me to, but I kind of have to just stay in this neutral spaced out space and go and do what he tells me. So he sends me down this aisle, and as soon as I saw that, I knew dang well that that was from him for me.
He's going, hell yeah. Is that all we're missing is a cape? He said,
No.
Mom, look through my shit. I'm pretty sure I have one.
Oh, cape. I'm sorry, cape. All right. I thought you said cake. Jen's going to show him his cake, though. She's going to go get it and bring it over here. So while Jen is getting the cake, Bob, one of the blog members, wants to know how you feel about the fact that your image is almost always associated with a marijuana leaf.
Awesome. I love it.
Are you feeling?
He said, let me explain something.
Okay.
He said, no, I didn't do marijuana to get high. Okay. He says that was part of my religion.
Okay.
Because he says, you know, as Ross does, we have kind of like people go to church on Sunday. We kind of have the same thing, only we meditate and then we smoke some marijuana because the Bible says so. He says there's something in the Bible about Adam's go, woohoo!
Yeah, all those strawberries for you.
Isn't that amazing? This is your beautiful cake. Strawberries. I'm sorry, Bob. Go ahead and continue. Thank you so much, Jen.
The dog's like, ooh, I want some tea. So I'm saying, yeah, it was part of the religion, you know. There's a section somewhere in the Bible where it says that we need to use the herb for ourselves, and we need to use plants for the animals. So as Rasta, we really saw the herb as marijuana. And he's saying, you know, it did help me to reach my higher self. It did help me to kind of release my fears and my anxieties and my anger, because I want to make something clear, and I really want to state this. People look at me and they idolize me. They think I was perfect and I was this enlightened being. He says, I had a good connection with my higher self. I did have enlightened ideas, and I did feel that love is the answer to all. But I was also very restricted through rules, regulations of my religion.
Okay.
So I was also restricting towards my children. I was restricted towards my family and my friends. I was very rigorously following certain rules and gospels and and doctrine in a way. And people seem to forget that part about me. I was also not a good leader. I could not make decisions for myself. I was very untrustworthy of myself, so I needed somebody to lead me, and so for us that was well, that's a complicated name. Just give me another name. It's like la 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 la. It has several parts. Haley or something. I'm not really sure if that's correct, but
what's
I
he
hear
referring
Haley.
to? What is he referring to?
He's referring to the person that he saw as a father, he saw as a leader. He is the one that they believe, Rastas believe, that he is the reincarnation of Jesus. He was an Ethiopian emperor.
An Ethiopian emperor. So you're not talking about Mithra, who was Persian. You're talking about somebody else.
No, this was somebody who was alive.
Oh.
When he was alive. His name was Haley.
Okay.
Or something like that. I hope I don't say that wrong.
That's all right. We'll figure it out.
It's like a whole name, though. It feels like there's a lot of parts to it, but I just asked him to make it shorter because it's too complicated.
Okay.
He said, either way, I needed somebody to tell me what to do, and my religion was that. So
okay.
I want to make sure that before we start I want people to understand that before we start sticking labels on everybody, that we need to start with ourselves. Start to get to know yourself. Find the love within yourself. Because if we do that, then we will find the love for everybody else. And he says, when we can bring all that love together, now that's how you cure a world. That's how you save humanity. So love conquers all, but it starts with you. So stop with idolizing people. As a human, we all have flaws. I had flaws. So don't put them on a pedestal, he says. I don't want you to be like me. I want everybody to be like themselves. Be who you want to be. And in that, find the love for yourself. Because if you find love for yourself, then you will never hurt another being. Because you will understand that we're all connected and we're all from the same source. And that hurting someone else means hurting yourself. So I really wanted to make that clear.
Bob, this means love, and it means that you have to love yourself before anyone can love you. And it's a reminder. I got it when I was 19, a reminder to love myself.
It's important, he says. Without self-love, we can't heal.
Adam taught me that. Adam knows.
He's saying, hell yeah. Adam was saying, hell yeah.
Thank you for that, Bob. That's a great answer.
Thank you, Bob.
So listen, Lori, our blog member Lori, wanted me to thank you. To thank you for your song, your beautiful song, One Love.
He's saying, you're welcome. And he's saying, please follow the advice.
Absolutely. Beautiful
He's
lyrics.
Like, all my songs came from my heart. They were a reflection of every different, he's like, if you look at all my songs, you can see my songs growing the way that I grew. My songs grew with me because I would, it was my escape. It was my way of venting. Was putting everything in a song, and through song and through music, using that frequency and that vibration to move people, to bring an awareness within themselves, to kind of have my music raise their frequency and raise their resonancy. So it's really about letting music heal you. Adam knew that. Barbra Jean knew that. Barbra Jean's going, hey, I'm here.
I have a crush on you, Barbra Jean.
He's saying, he knew that, us musicians, we don't all understand how important our work is. There are enormous amount of celebrities who just do it for the ego, who do it for the financial stability. Mm-hmm. However, as musicians, he says,
who's speaking? Is it Shubin or Bob?
This is Bob's stuff. He's very kind of slow in his talking.
That's okay.
And he moves a lot, I've noticed.
You're kind of going like this. Is he doing that? Is he?
I don't know why. It's just his energy that he's just so close to me. I just feel him move.
It feels like he's just he's kind of rocking us,
Yeah, he feels so loving, and
he's got such copacetic energy.
Everything's really like at ease. Take a chill pill.
Don't worry, be happy.
No woman, no cry.
Saying hell yeah.
That's stuck in my head right now, Bob.
Thank you for sending everybody songs. Seriously, he sent you songs. I have to tell you a real quick funny story. All day long, a couple of days ago, maybe it was Tuesday, I don't remember for sure. I just kept getting the feeling that Adam wanted me to invite Jen. So finally, I text her and tell her that we're having a party for him on Thursday and asked her if she can come. So she had to make some arrangements to be available, but she wasn't sure at the time. Okay, so we kind of left the door open. 9 o'clock that night, she calls me and she's like, oh my God, I don't know why I didn't get this at the time that I got your text. I didn't connect the two. But she tells me she's bartending that day and a man comes in to play pool and he plays 3 Bob Marley songs. So there was No Woman, No Cry, which was Adam and Jen's song. And then there was another one that he played. I can't remember.
Buffalo Soldiers.
Buffalo Soldiers.
Born in America.
And she couldn't remember the third. But after the guy played the Bob Marley songs, then he's telling Jen about his friend Adam, who had won a T-shirt because he ate a whole hamburger,
a burger that big. An enormous burger, but his friend Adam, who was not there at the bar, ate this enormous burger, and he had to tell me about this story for absolutely no reason. But it was amazing, and then Adam's name just keeps popping up, and then on my way driving yesterday, there's another Bob Marley song that played. And I want to ask him why he keeps playing Can't Touch This. Every time I'm in my car, it's Can't Touch This. Does he play that for me? Because it's all the time. I feel like that song's everywhere.
Maybe he can't touch you.
Or can no one else touch me? I don't know what he's saying.
Well, I didn't hear you. What?
He's claiming that one. He's shaking his head, yes, and he's got this humongous smirk on his face. He's saying, I'm just trying to show you, can't touch this.
It cracks me up. I can picture him dancing in the video.
Going like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta tell you, I have been dancing to that song like all week. I mean, including that, the little thing where he goes to the sideways and sticks out his foot, he crosses the feet, and so I've been like in my backyard doing this. I did not know he was in it. That's hilarious, Adam. Very nice job.
Well, I have to say, when you said we were gonna, Adam, when Adam said last time that we were gonna bring Bob in, Bob Marley is not. Everybody knows who he is, even in Belgium, but his music is rarely played on the radios here. Unfortunately. Too sad, I think. They should play him.
Sure.
But, I mean, I haven't heard Bob Marley in years. Right, honey? Yeah, he's shaking his head, yeah. So, a whole week, we were listening to this channel called Nostalgia, and the whole week it was all one Bob Marley song after another, and I was like, okay, Bob, I get it. You're excited about this.
Yeah.
So I was talking to him during my meditation. He was such a cool, relaxed spirit. Usually I'm used to Adam and I'm used to Eric popping in all the time, but they're kind of like, their energy is so vibrant and so, they're like this Energizer bunnies that just hop around like crazy.
Yeah, they are.
And then Bob comes in and he's like, yeah. He's just so soothing and so calming, and he even was helping me with some of my fears that I'm dealing with, and so he's such a cool guy. I was so happy to finally hear some of his songs on the radio because they have so much meaning, and people knew that, and people, he says, it was my mission to bring people together, and I think I did that. I think I not only learned myself and I experienced things and I grew, but people grew with me. And that's what we need to do, he says. We need to join hands. We need to learn to grow together instead of everybody trying to grow in their own pace for their own gain, for their own pleasure. If we start seeing ourselves as a whole, then he says, we can change the world. We can get rid of, children starving in Africa. We can get rid of diversity, of racism, of greed. If we all saw each other as one consciousness and we start living for each other instead of just living for ourselves, then we would grow into a beautiful society of love and understanding and support, So we really need to work on that, people, he says. And I want to call up, he says, to all musicians out there, take your job seriously. People look up to you. People have, you inspire people with your music. So that is a great responsibility that is put into your hands. So please grab it with both hands. Find the love within yourself and use your music to heal people. That's all I want to say.
I love that. So, Bob, one of the blog members wanted to know what you think of rap music.
He's going, well. He's saying, first of all, let's just say this is a totally different frequency.
Right.
Rap music is about expressing identity. However, it has changed, he says. Rap started out as expressing yourself, as a way to tell stories. It was a modern way of storytelling. Okay? So it started out like that real well. However, with time, it changed into not all of it. I'm not going to say they're all like that, but it has kind of evolved into a more negative way of expressing exactly what we shouldn't be focusing on. So let's just say I accept what is. Everything has a reason, but as you can tell, rap is slowly disappearing because people are starting to focus on music where the soul is being touched, where it is about life and it is about experiences and how we can grow together, how we can soothe one another. So as you have already noticed, maybe in the world, the music is changing again, and it is going back to sharing love. It is going back to being honest about oneself and expressing oneself in such a way that other people can relate to and can resonate to that frequency, therefore also activating the feelings again. A lot of people have become numb in their lives. Right. They are no longer in touch with their emotions or their feelings. They are just solely functioning on automatic pilot. And so the music that is slowly coming back popular, that is coming back into the world, is really opening those feelings up again. They are reactivating the human senses and therefore making us feel, giving the ability to be vulnerable again, and therefore from that growing and making contact with who we really are, which is loving, caring, compassionate beings.
That's a great move in a positive direction for music.
He's saying definitely. And as long as everybody stays who they are and they don't let... this is important. Nobody told me who to be. I just decided to be who I was. I didn't like the rules and regulations of society, so I didn't follow them. Simple as that. I grew weed in my backyard. I didn't care whether it was legal or not. It was my belief that, I smoked marijuana for a reason, so I didn't care. And that's how people should start acting. Stop letting society dictate who you are, what you should be doing, and don't let anybody stick a label on you. The same with artists. Stay true to yourself, because nowadays a lot of artists are being influenced by big label companies, and they completely change those people's identities, what they feel comfortable with, and eventually those people go into depression because they have lost who they are and they don't know anymore what direction to go into. So if it's one thing I can tell you, and that is for everybody in the world, please stay true to who you are. It doesn't matter what other people think of you. It doesn't matter what society labels you or even judges you, he says, condemns you. The hell with it. You're here to live your life, so make it worthwhile. Enjoy it, love others, and you will be loved in return.
What great advice. As he described himself, the way he thought, the way he felt, the way he lived, that is Adam. That was Adam to a T, wasn't it? I mean, really, he lived on his own terms. He lived on his own terms. He stepped to the beat of a different drummer, and he has been divergent since he drew his first breath. And that, his kindergarten teacher described him as a divergent thinker. That was Adam. So the fact that he and Bob connected, that explains it right there. They are of a very similar frequency, aren't they?
He's saying, yes, that's the thing in the afterlife, we can meet anybody we want to. So start making your list of everybody you want to meet when you pass over. Okay. It's always a cool thing to do. Make a bucket list. Okay, when I die, I want to see this guy and this guy and this guy. He says, but, we do kind of have groups of friends and family members that kind of stick together, and it's usually based on frequency. When we feel a similar frequency and an energetic level, we automatically get drawn towards each other. Now, I always loved Bob, so guess what? He was one of the first, and I was like, I gotta meet Bob. So when we connected, it felt like we were the same. We were one. And through that, and then through sharing our experiences by combining our energies, we created magic, he says. And so Bob and I hang out every day. So we've become really, really close friends.
So that's Adam and Bob. And I know Adam and Eric hang out all the time. So Eric and Bob are also good friends, correct?
That is correct. They like to... they like to drink a beer, have a party, and they like fancy cars, he says.
Oh, well, now that reminds me. Shubin, what kind of car was your long white car with the steer horns mounted on the front? What kind of a car was that? I couldn't tell. But I know it had to be like an earlier model car, like a 50s or something. Or older model, rather.
It was a Cadillac.
It was a Cadillac.
And it was from, I think he says, the 30s, though.
Okay, so here's the deal. When I saw Shubin's white car, I almost swallowed my tongue. Adam he drove a 1983 white Cadillac Baritz. Okay, so 1983 was the year he was born. But Adam's car looked just like Shubin's. Now, I knew they couldn't be the same year, so like they were 50 years apart. But in design, those cars looked alike. And in case, for people who are looking, Adam and Shubin share the same higher self. So they were a parallel life. And they had cars that looked just alike.
Wow.
And Shubin says, and when it comes to... he thinks this is so funny, but he says when we look at personality, he's saying in Belgium, in Europe, I was seen as a singer, but I didn't see myself as.
Uh-oh. We've frozen. Let's see if it comes undone. We might have to reconnect, or... Yeah, I think we might. You know what? This is so funny because we're actually talking to another aspect of Adam.
Yeah. That's
so
amazing.
There's a lot of energy going on here. So let's see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and hang this up. Oh my God! What happened? Did we have?
It said you were offline all of a sudden.
Well, and see, it said you were offline. So. We were talking to two different aspects of Adam. Were we just streaming too much energy? Is that what happened to us or what?
I'm not sure. Adam's going, too much love. It interfered with the signal.
So Shubin was talking when we hung up. He was talking about how they were alike in their personalities. And that he didn't see himself as a singer.
Entertainers.
Yes.
He was saying that they love to dress up, they love making smirky faces, and they love making people laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also loved writing songs, and they loved performing. And it was all about finding love and finding happiness in sharing that love with others. So Adam was the same way. Adam's going, hell yeah. He's saying, it was not just about us. It was about the people who were around me and trying to share that with people. Right. That was what it was all about. And so in that way, we were very, very similar. And we also had a lot of similar interests, like yodeling.
Adam was interested in yodeling?
That's what he says.
I didn't know that.
I think he's just joking with him.
For sure. I mean, Adam. Who's doing that?
Adam, he's giving him this look like, meh?
Well, see, and that's the funny thing, because that's what they have in common. They both make faces. That is hilarious. So, and here's another thing that's funny. Barbra Jean, to have him share where the name Barbra Jean came from. how he came up with it. I know the story, but I want him to tell you. Us.
I'm not really getting in why or how he came up with the name. He is just saying that it's not his real name.
No, his real name was Modest. Modest. It looks like modest.
He's saying I had a lot of names.
Well, this is what I know about Barbra Jean. He saw something that was called Barbra Jean Climbs a Mountain. I think it might have been a song, but I think it's from Africa.
It was a song, he said.
And that he heard when he was in Africa, right? And Barbra Jean, the word means baboon. So the song means baboon climbs a mountain.
Adam's going, that's me too.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That is what I was going to say. I remember, I can picture Adam right now sitting on my living room floor, and he would go like this. He would go, woo, 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 woo. You know, Adam used to act like a monkey. What the hell?
We would both be doing that.
And he has an alternative self who named himself Baboon.
On top of the mountain, huh? He's saying we were on top of the mountain, all in kind of both in different ways, but in a way we were still top of our lives. So we were in charge. Let's just say it that way. We were king of our worlds, and we were going to lead it wherever we needed to lead it. So we would not let other people tell us differently, or we would not let other people influence us in what we felt. Mm-hmm. So in a way, he says, Adam and I and Bob, he says, we're all the same. Mm-hmm. We really followed our hearts, no matter if people told us, well, you won't be able to make a living off of that, or you won't be able to do that. You know, we didn't care. Right. We were there to follow our hearts, to entertain the people around us and make them smile. And in those smiles, we gained love for ourselves as well. So, you know, it all starts with you, like we said. And I think that's why us coming together, we all had that same vision. It starts with you. Share your love and share your compassion to make other people laugh with one another, and the world will go into a better place. So, but he's saying, Africa. He said he loved Africa, and he also had a few songs in like African or something.
Wow.
So in the language itself, which he actually ended up in jail for, but that's another story. He said.
That's awesome.
He said, I didn't let that stop me either.
No, he didn't. I actually read about that. That is crazy.
Wow.
He says, when people, he said, I loved America. I felt so drawn to it.
Nashville?
And because,
Nashville?
you know, I was there. We were drawn somehow towards each other. And so I was like the first Belgian cowboy, if you want to look at it that way. And he says, you know, I really... I was actually the first European to sing in the Old Opry in America. So for me, that was a very big honor to do that. And so when I brought America back to Belgium, people would look at me and go, "What are you? Are you playing dress up and be a cowboy and Indians? What's going on?" So everybody kind of had a different perspective on who I was, but very fast they started to love me and adore me for who I was. And so all my crazy ideas that I came up with, you know, I was the first one in Belgium to say, hey, let's start an amusement park. I started my own amusement park. I saw it in the States. It was cool. So, and there was no amusement park in Belgium. So everybody told me I was crazy. I said, good. Thank you for that compliment. I will take it. So
I love that compliment too. He said, yep.
In that aspect, he says, Adam and I were exactly the same. When people told us we were different or we were weird, we would see it as a compliment. We would say, hey, thanks. You know, because we didn't want to be like everybody else. We didn't want to be followers. We wanted to be us. and we want it to be very unique. And so we portrayed that in life very well. So we succeeded extremely well in that. And we didn't just do it for fame or glory or ego. Not at all.
No.
We did it to find truth within ourselves, and we did it to share that love with others. That's what we wanted to do. And we've succeeded.
It was self-actualizing. I mean, so for those of you out there watching this who know Adam, who knew him personally or really have a sense of him, if you go on YouTube, you can find YouTube videos of Barbra Jean Shubin, Schoepen. He has Adam's personality. I mean,
and his look.
And his look. I mean, I know you're like, how do you get your head around somebody having a parallel life? Okay, don't try to get your head around it. Just watch it. And then you try to deny it, because that's how I get dragged kicking and screaming into these things. The bottom line is, people may say something is crazy, but what is crazier to experience something and to have a knowing of a sense of truth of what you personally experienced and then not believing that it really happened, doubting your own reality. That, I think, is closer to crazy than saying I can't get my head around it. Let me just say something, folks. Understanding is not a prerequisite to a happening. You don't have to understand it for it to be. So here's a funny story. We're talking about Barbra Jean bringing the cowboy to Europe. He wore this big 10-gallon hat. Okay, we're going to go back to when Adam was in kindergarten. One day they made snowmen. I went to pick him up. And all the snowmen that the kindergartners made were in the back of the classroom along the wall on this little shelf. And I mean, I was way across the room from these snowmen. I don't have good eyesight. Adam's teacher, the one who called him a divergent thinker, she said, "Gee, can you tell which one is Adam's?" And from across the room, there's one snowman that big wearing a 10-gallon black cowboy hat. I mean, the cowboy hat was as big as the snowman itself. Man, you could see Adam's snowman from across the room.
That's amazing.
He's saying that's how I rock, man.
No kidding. But it was, hilarious.
I was unique.
Well, you were. I never knew anybody like him, and I loved the fact that he was so divergent. And I loved seeing what Bob Jean did with his life, because he lived Adam's dream. He did. He lived Adam's dream, and it just brought me joy to know that a higher aspect of Adam did self-actualize, even if he wasn't able to in this life. But I also know that Bob Jean and Adam had different soul contracts. They weren't both meant to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. He's saying that we were meant to be similar, but we were meant to achieve different things.
Right.
So. And he's saying, my husband just pointed out something. You know how we've been talking about being divergent? You just said the word divergent.
Yes.
And being different and being true to yourself.
Right.
My husband's actually, he just changed the channel. And as soon as you said divergent, the movie Divergent popped up.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That is amazing. Thanks for sharing that, Gerald. Hey, welcome to the birthday party.
He's right there.
Hi, Gerald.
Hello.
And if you could see on TV, it is Divergent.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he just showed it to me. He's going, look what just popped up right after you said Divergent.
Sync.
The movie Divergent popped up.
Okay, so you see that, folks? That's called synchronicity. And that's like how you know that all is as it should be, right? Those kinds of things. That is so cool.
I want to tell the viewers, don't look for it.
Don't look for what?
For synchronicity.
Don't look.
It'll just happen to you.
That's how
because
it
if
is.
you start looking for it, you're trying to control it, and nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
Nothing. Because the control will block it. Because you're trying to control it out of a perspective of fear that you might not see anything.
Oh.
Just know that it's out there, and when you notice things, maybe write it down in a diary. Ooh, I saw this, and this. it gave me a weird feeling, or that was kind of weird, but let's write it down. And then after a week, go over all these things that you've noticed that are kind of weird and bizarre, but you can't really put all the dots and ends together.
Right.
And then you'll notice that they're all connected in some way. And that is how we connect to you. That is how we reactivate your awareness of the universe around you. So it's very important, he says, that we
question for
keep
Adam.
eyes open.
Adam, are you the flash of light that keeps following me, that every time I'm in my room alone and I see a flash of light out of the corner of my eye or just random spots in the room, are you with me and showing me that you're that star, that bright light? Because every time...
He said yes.
Yes, I thought that was...
He said sometimes I go real fast.
Yes. Because you'll be on one side of the room, then the flash will be over there. I see him and I feel him.
He's saying it's like an orb, but you see it brighter because I really want you to remember me as a star, he says.
He was my star.
Oh, so awesome.
And tell him I saw his shooting star and I saw Rhonda's, and I was hoping that was them together because it was random to see two in one night and even one dropping. Was that his way of showing me that he was there? Because I keep seeing shooting stars, but this one was different. I was talking about him one night with my best friend Stella, and I was talking about her father, and when I was leaving her house, I saw a star just dropping from the sky, and it felt like it was there forever. Was that him?
He's saying it was me. It wasn't Rhonda, although me and Rhonda were buddies. We hang out, you know. She's going, yeah. But it was him. He says the reason that there were two is because I wanted it to be different than just a normal shooting star.
Oh,
I wanted you to be able to notice it and say, hey, that usually
they were
doesn't
all
happen.
different. All three of them. Wow.
Oh, yeah. He's saying I'm a star, he says. Keep that in mind, he says.